Hey there everyone, this is Mystic Fish and welcome to episode 14 of our Factorio series on building an expandable base. Last episode we finished up our little tour through nuclear power here, designing the uranium processing. And so now let's just take stock. What things do we have remaining here? We are going to need to do, let's see, we have not done initial power. We haven't done the jumpstart base. We haven't done the modules or the mall or the labs. And we haven't done the builder train or our initial solid fuel station here. But I think actually let's take a tour and let's start working on some of the science production here. And so let's talk a little bit about how we're going to do that. The way that I want to do this is, let's take a look at red science. We'll get a new factory plan in here. We know that we want eventually 1350 red science. All right, let's get our preferences going here because I want this to be sort of fully upgraded here. So let's assume we've got full Tier 3 modules and beacons. We'll do blue belts. Let's see, we want assembly machine 3s. And it doesn't really matter on the smelting because we won't be doing the smelting in the designs we're about to do, but okay, I think that's what we want. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this stuff in here. And what I want to look at is number of blue belts. So this is producing half of a blue belt, 0.5. And what I really want to look at are the input rates for smelted plates, which in this case is, okay, it's fine. It's slightly more than half of a belt of iron and less than half of a belt of copper. So this one is actually pretty easy. And so we can actually design this as a straight line, a little subsystem here. And so the idea here is what we want to do here. Let's, I'm not going to put this stuff in a grid yet. I think that's going to come later, but let's get some upgrade bots in here. Let's see. We're probably going to need, let's see. Guess we'll want some modules. I guess we'll just get a bunch of all the modules. Sure. We know we're going to need blue belts. All the belts. Ooh, I'm full. I'm all full. Okay, belts. Shall let us upgrade and downgrade. I guess we need some red and blue splitters. Let's get all of our modules in. I guess we need another one. Get some more modules. Okay, what do we say we need? Red and blue splitters. Okay, this should let us upgrade and downgrade anything that we want to do here. All right, so what is this gonna look like? I guess I do need a little bit of modulage for myself. Let's see, let's get power over this way. All right, we're gonna get Tier 3 modules with beacons. How far over does this go? Pretty far. Okay, good. All right, so we'll get that started here. And here's the general idea. The general idea that I want to go for, and this is how we make the base upgradable, is I want to try to make sort of a straight line module where we can actually take raw materials in at the bottom and then produce the science out the top. And I think if we can do that, then, and if we can do it with, in such a way that we can use yellow belts for everything, then this becomes upgradable. But we're gonna do the end design first. And so let's see, we really just need, all right, we're gonna need 2 things making gears. Fine. And those are gonna have productivity modules in them, yes. Okay. And then we're going to get, how many? 15 making red science. So we're going to turn you into red science. Where'd you go? There you go. It's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Can I reach all the way up there? Oh, I can. Look at that. All right, so then I need, obviously, modules up this direction too. I guess like that. And just out of curiosity, okay, this is well smaller than a grid, which is the main thing that I wanted to see. Okay. Good. Now we just have to figure out the belt weaving here. So let's get ourselves armed with some blue here. Okay, so how many belts of gears come out? Less than half. Okay, so I think what that means is that really we can just get the, let's just go overboard with the stack inserters here. So we can get all of our iron ore in here on a single belt. And then on this side, we can output the gears on this side, and then we can make sure that the copper is coming in this side. Like so. Let's see, we probably want this to be lane balanced here, since we're only taking half of a lane. So what do we want to do here? I guess we'll back it up here. I guess we can slide this up pretty far. Let's get this like that. Sure. Okay, that gets us a lane balanced input lane for copper. And then this is our combined copper and gears. So, and we'll spit them out on this side. Like so. I guess we should get power in here somewhere. So I think we're going to assume that we're going to use, we'll use medium power poles here and not substations, because that way, let's see. That way we can use the medium power poles right from the beginning. They're also a ton cheaper than substations. Let's see, I gotta get this down here so it powers that bottom beacon. And then, okay, we'll do our dragging trick. Now let's see, here we need belts as we go. That didn't work the way I expected it to. Weird. Okay. And that's too many. Okay. Now we drag power. And we drag power. Okay, and I think that is actually red science. We'll have to figure out how to downgrade this in a minute, probably just back to the original version of just yellow belts and assembly machine 2s. So, but right now I want to test this. So we need some loaders. So you are going to give me some iron plates. Okay, and then we also need one of these for copper plates. And then up here, we need one to consume the science that's coming out of here. There we go. So it should be the case, right? Because we've got more than enough. We've got more plates coming in than we need. We've got more iron gear production than we need, and we've got slightly more red science production than we need. So we should be getting a fully compacted set of red science out the top here. And that does look to be pretty good. So let's check production stats over a minute. We should hopefully be seeing 1350 by the time this curve gets out of the way. And that's looking pretty good. I mean, in some sense, I guess that's not surprising because we can see, pretty sure that we can see right here that this is well compacted. If we do the transport belt gaps, where are those? Where are those guys? Where's my setting? It's in here somewhere. Here they are. So yeah, we just have some gaps in here, but they're gone by the time we hit the last assembly machine. We can see that, you know, this stack inserter is just holding on, waiting for to fill in the gaps with its last bits of stuff. So, okay, that's going to be red science. So that's good. Now, next, so I'm going to leave that there for a second. So let's make a copy of this. Slide it over. But now, if we want to downgrade it, I think what we want is, let's see. First, we're going to get rid of the beacons. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a version of this that just uses assembly machine 2s. Let's see. I want to go from blue belts to yellow belts. Did we use any undergrounds? We didn't. We used one splitter. All right, so I want to do this. That gets me some stuff. I need some more construction area here. And then I also want to downgrade, I think, the stack inserters to fast inserters. No. There we go. Did I give them stuff for doing that? I may not have. All right, there we go. And then I'm going to need to give some Assembly machines. And we're going to downgrade from assembling machine 3s to assembling machine 2s. I'm a little curious what will happen to the modules. Ah, it just leaves them in there. Okay. And so then I think for this, what we actually want to do is we want assembly machine or tier 1 modules. All right, get rid of that, copy that. You are going to get rid of these. You're going to get the tier 1 modules. All right, so I should talk a little bit about why put the tier 1 modules in here and this way, and that is because if we compare rates. So let's take a look at this. Let's do per second, no, per minute's fine, okay. This is consuming 9 items per minute, producing 9 items per minute. That's fine. This is actually producing a little bit more, which is good, which means that this can produce just as much. But proportionally, it's actually consuming, we can see that it's consuming a little fewer resources, but it's able to consume all the same number of resources as the original. So I think we can, if we design the blueprints like this, they'll work fine without modules, but then when we have modules available, then they can be put in and we just get a little sort of effective productivity bump. All right. So let's get all those in there. Now let's see. Now I can't see the red science coming out of here. So let's turn this off. We know this is not going to be nearly at speed, but this is going to produce. Okay, this is producing 161 science per minute. So I think it's safe to say that we're really only ever going to need just the one installment of the red science. Obviously, this is enough for the blue science. The initial version here, in fact, we probably don't even need this entire thing here in order to get to some of the earlier rates that we're going to have, but I'm kind of not gonna really worry about downscaling it any further from here, because this will be enough. We can get it in. It's still a pretty cheap build, and we can plunk that in where we're ready for it, and then over time we can upgrade it. So we'll work through, at various upgrade paths. We'll have to upgrade to assembly machine 3s, right? And so let's see. Let's talk a little bit about the upgrade here. Let's see. First, let's take blueprints. I want to blueprint this much, and we're going to take out the infinity loaders, and we're going to call this red science 1350 science per minute. So we're going to call this, what do we want to do? I guess we'll say it's red science. I guess we'll say we're using blue belts, and I guess we'll say we're using, oh no, the tier 3 beacons or something like that. Okay, so we get that guy, and then we'll blueprint this one, and this will be red science initial. So this will be the red science like this, and it will be yellow belts and I guess we'll put an assembly machine 2. I don't know. Something like that, just something so we know what it is. And so then let's talk about the upgrade paths here. So so we already saw that these are the next tier is really at red belts. So we basically need to go twice as fast as these guys. Actually, what we need to do, we've really sort of built it so it will work for this. And right, 9 times 15 is still pretty high. So that's well above the science that we're going to need for yellow belts. But we need to double it. So we need to get to the point where we are doing 18 items per second. So I think for that, we are going to want, if I recall correctly, we can do it, I think this works, 2 productivity modules and 2 speed module 1s. And these are consuming more than 18 and they're producing more than 18. So that's sort of our next, this gets us to red belts. And then after that, we'll drop in, we'll progressively drop in more and more beacons as we go. Okay, so probably the upgrade path here looks like, whoops, that we're going to go from, nope, not those, from these to these. So that's going to be a step that we'll take. And I think this is going to apply to all of our science builds, at least that use assembly machines. So we'll do that. We are then probably going to have to drop in some of the extra modules that we're missing. And I think we can't really, what if I blueprint this is a question. Create blueprint. If I snap that down there, does that put it in? No. Unfortunately, we can't paste the updated beacons in. So when we go to upgrade it, we're going to have to get rid of that and then copy that in, just like we did previously. And then we'll need to do the same thing here. Just want to work through what the upgrade path is going to look like. So we need to get those in. We'll get rid of these. And then we'll put these in. Those will bring in there. And then we will need to upgrade the belts. So from yellow to red and from yellow to, nope, from yellow to red. So we'll upgrade these. And I think this will get us to like 13 something in terms of science per minute. Or no, 300 something. All right, so let's take a look at this. Yeah, 300 something. So that's, and actually what I want to do is I want to cut this, undo. Just want to make sure that the red belt, that we really can resaturate the red belts here. We know the raw materials are going to be okay, but what I'm kind of curious about is, are we input inserter limited? No, it does not look like we are. And so hopefully by the time we get up here, hopefully we'll eventually start stacking up the gears at the top here, and we are. Okay, good. So that will work fine. And then And then after that, it's just a series of upgrades. We'll drop in the beacons after that. And then we will... so let's see. So we probably want... So I think what we'll end up doing is we'll drop in the beacons, but with tier 1 modules in them would be next. But we've got this one, so let's do this. Let's take a blueprint of this. Red science, red belts. So we'll just do that. So that will come in. Then I want a version. Let's see, I already blueprinted this. Okay, so now what I want is I want to go from speed 3 modules down to speed 1 modules. Because this will be what it's like when the beacons first come in. And then, let's see, then I want to get rid of this stuff. And I want to copy this stuff in. Like that. Oh, I didn't get enough speed modules in here. Here we go, guys. Okay, so we'll get the initial beacons in here. This will be what the assembly machines look like from the red belts. And then really from here out, it's just upgrading beacons to tier 2 and tier 3 modules and so on. Okay, so I do want this one. This adds the beacons. Red science, beacons. And I think everything else we can do with upgrade planners. Beacons. Okay, so those are going to be our, I guess we don't actually need the, I guess we'll keep it in there for reference. But that's going to be the upgrade path. Unfortunately, when we go from assembly machine 2s to assembly machine 3s, we'll have to actually sort of delete the assembly machine 2s and then paste in the ones with the 3s, these guys. I guess we'll also put the assembly machine 3s in here, so in the icons. So we'll delete the assembly machines, then we'll paste this one in, and then the bots will do the necessary module upgrades for us. Then we can drop in the beacons, right, which we'll do like that. And then from there, the speed module 1s that are in here can be upgraded to speed modules 2s and 3s. Once we start adding the speed modules here, we can start upgrading. I think you can do an upgrade like this. Let's see if this works. From speed module 1 to productivity module 1. I think we could do that. And that will, I think, replace all of these with productivity modules. Ooh, that's nice. So once we drop the beacons in, we'll also upgrade these. And now from here out, we're just upgrading productivity modules in here from 1 to 2, tiers 1 to 2, and then 2 to 3. And then same with the speed modules, 1 to 2, and then 2 to 3. Okay. So that's it. That's going to be red science. And I think in the next episodes, we're going to try to do similar types of designs for the other sciences. But we'll leave those as problems for future Mystic Fish. So that's what we got for today. So as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Until then, bye.